All right, tech enthusiasts, we're in the kitchen now. Needed some space. I needed space for this. We're going to take a look at a new item coming in to the Techthusiasm home theater. Yes, this is in fact madVR. What I have here should be a Mark II NV Extreme, the latest model, the big dog, the top guy. So in this video, we're going to open it up, take a first look, talk about some of the ins and outs and different things that it has, some little feature overview, and then I'll quickly be getting this thing installed and putting it through its paces in the home theater setup. Super excited for this. This is a device that I've definitely had my eye on for a while. If you follow the channel, you know that in 2023 I had the chance to demo Illumigen for a little bit, and I've been super excited to also try out one of these in my system as I continue the debate about perhaps purchasing, permanently owning, wanting to have a video processor in the projection theater setup. So without further ado, let's cut right into it. Pretty nice, pretty big box overall here, on the order of about 50 pounds. Of course, if you're not familiar, a madVR is a dedicated, one of essentially two on the market, major dedicated video processors. You would use this in your home theater setup to do all kinds of potential things for your video signals coming from your source devices like an Apple TV, a Blu-ray player, or a Kaleidoscope, in order to do things like have better HDR processing, take advantage of their motion AI and all of their other kind of computational aspects and features to improve your picture quality. Screen aspect ratio management, for me, of course, is a huge one. I've got a big 163-inch scope screen down there in the Techthusiasm home theater, and have for the longest time now just been using lens memories to show a 16:9 image at a constant height, but then be able to zoom the lens up and show something like a scope image at a similar height, but with a wider presentation. So right off the bat, double box, perfectly packaged. I'm going to set it down and bring the inside box right back up. Whew, little red face. One of the things about double boxings, especially with stuff that's so just tightly packed and it's big and bulky, sometimes it can be hard to get that inner box out. So this is all taped up, nice and clean, nice and fresh. This is a demo unit, just to be very clear. I have not purchased a madVR for my own ownership and use yet. I guess we'll see what happens. But this does look like a brand new unit and not a demo. I like what I'm seeing inside here. Nice solid packaging. We got a lot of space around the unit itself if anything happened to come through that box to puncture. We got a box of accessories, also with its own kind of styrofoam protection there, wrapped up in a great bag. I know in general unboxings can be of dubious value, and of course for stuff like our dedicated home theaters, once you get the device in and it's off and running, boxes don't really matter. But call me a nerd, I guess, but I'm a fan of boxes. I'm a fan of good packaging, protective packaging, nice presentation in the stuff that I buy. I'm going to set this down and bring the unit up onto the table. Tilt the view down here a little bit as we break into the unit itself. Give it some support underneath there. Get the first styrofoam off, and then the second printed bag. So nice. One of the things that they really did, and when it was announced, this is the thing that I said about it first of all, is I think going from the Mark I to the Mark II in this product, aesthetics was one significant element of the upgrade. I think the Mark II just looked so much better than the Mark I, and this has some really nice packaging to boot. Often a dealer-supported product, but can very easily be bought by an end user. So the experience of opening up a kind of exquisite, expensive piece of electronics is part of the fun, in my opinion. So this is actually really nice. I like this even better. Rather than kind of the bags that might be hard to get on stuff, it's actually elastic. I almost want a gym shirt made out of that same material. So, oh yeah, this thing is brand new. It's even got all the plastic all over it. All right, let's go through that accessory box, and then we'll come back to the main unit itself. And I think they've done, oh, look at that. I think they've done just a great job here. It's like opening a fine set of cutlery. All right, where are we gonna start? Power cords. Looks like 3 different power cords for different regions. I'm not even sure what that one, region-wise, what that one actually is. Got a European region plug here as well. And then, of course, a trusty North American 3-prong grounded plug style. And we do have 3 prongs on the power supply connection on the back, so it is an entirely grounded unit. Remote control. So remote control has a little kind of finish to it. We've got power buttons, information, up, down, left, right, okay. And then I believe the bottom, the colors and stuff are different programmable type of memory recalls. One of the things I really like looking at the starter documentation is the fact that the remote can be either configured or operate the madVR as IR or RF. I really appreciate that, because for this type of thing, to use this remote in my setup, I would absolutely require RF control off of the remote. So I was very, very happy to see that. And then I believe this little white bag should be the rack ears. Yes, yes it is. Open one of these up. Another great addition as well. It baffles me sometimes in the home theater space, expensive equipment where they charge you money for these little metal brackets when you're buying expensive equipment. So love to see that. Basically a couple of screws that go in to the side face, and then rack screws there. I believe this is a 4U rack unit. I have a shelf to set it on. I may not end up rack mounting it unless it becomes a permanent part of the Techthusiasm install. I suppose we'll see. But there's a variety of screws here to go with the rack ears. So the Mark II has this really nice, just solid front end here. It says madVR. NV in the corner. It doesn't say NV Extreme. It says it on the serial number code on the back. We have 1 button, and then a little bit of writing here. It says every pixel counts. I'm curious what lights up. I have a feeling that actually, like all these things, a variety of these elements may light up when we get it powered up. That would be pretty cool. Of course, mine will be in a rack in another room, so I don't mind the stuff in my rack having a nice glow, having a nice presentation when I do go in there to take a look at it or do something with it. Now, cooling was a major focus, a major engineering upgrade for the Mark II, and we can see a ton of this here. 3 massive fans on the right-hand side, and a big and more big venting up there on the top. Let's flip it around. And 1 more large fan here on this side. Real nice, real nice. I would like to have this case just for my gaming PC. All right, and our shot here, the back panel, of course, power supply, power cord attachment, and power on-off switch. Now they blacked out the majority of the I/O on the motherboard because we don't necessarily need it all. All that's left to us is an RJ45 network port and a variety of USB ports. They're all USB-A. Some are denoted as blue, and some are denoted in red there. It says IR, RF, and this is basically how they provide the remote control. This is a FLIRC. I'm actually well aware of the FLIRC. I've used that, I think, long ago in HTPCs and stuff, but there is a USB dongle for the IR or a separate USB dongle with an antenna for the RF. We have our GPU. This is running a 4000 series NVIDIA card. And if I look through the back, through the grading here, I can see PNY written there. For the video I/O, this is again a standard video card, so there are multiple DisplayPort connections on that GPU. They still have the plugs in them. We won't be using those, of course. There is 1 HDMI output that you would route to your display or your projector. GPU's there, and then we have one other piece, one other add-on card inside there, making up more of the hardware architecture of the unit. This is a capture card, a video input card. So there's 2 HDMIs on this actually, 1 labeled input and 1 labeled pass-through. You wouldn't want to run video games and stuff like that through the processing of a device like this, but if you wanted to route, say, multiple things through it and have just that singular connection going to the projector, that's where the pass-through comes in. Nominally speaking, I think most folks would go 1 HDMI input and 1 HDMI output. Something to keep in mind based on this is This is not an HDMI switcher, so it doesn't have the facility. It's not set up to take an Apple TV, a Blu-ray, a Kaleidoscope, and multiple video sources into this discreetly and then onward to your audio processor preamp and then onward to your projector. The right way generally, I think, that to be hooking this up and the way that I'll be doing it in my system, given I've got an Apple TV and a Kaleidoscope that I'll both be testing with this, is running those video sources into the Anthem AVM90 preamp, out of the AVM90 working as the switcher, into the NV's input, and then output going on to my projector. Not too much going on underneath the unit. 4 nice hefty puck feet and some additional ventilation and open areas for the case's airflow. So I'm really excited to get this in. I've had the space in the rack reserved for it. Perfect spot right above my AVM90, right below my HDMI sources, the Apple TV and the Kaleidoscope. I want to really put this thing through every pace that I can. I want to check out the entirety of the UI. I want to see everything that it can do with regards to Apple TV and Kaleidoscope as well. What kind of integration we can get with Control 4. And then just, man, really tune it up when it comes to maximizing my setup. Figuring out what I like with it in terms of its more advanced aspect ratio management, and of course all the processing algorithms and capabilities that it has built in there. So I'll get it connected, I'll get it wired up, get it updated, get it all operational in the system, pour through all the documentation, get some training time and whatnot, and make sure I really got all the ins and outs of its operation. And so stay tuned to the channel. This will be something I'm eager to talk a lot about in the coming weeks, and we'll go from there, see what happens. If there's specific stuff that you would like to know about this, sound off in the comments, ask the question, and I'll try to make sure to incorporate that into future content. Otherwise, as always, please do that regular YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, hit the bell, share the video, and if you'd like to support the channel, shop with my affiliates. There's a bunch of them down there: Audio Advice, Best Buy, Amazon, and more. And if you're looking for a unit like this, one of my strongest partners, Audio Advice, has them. They have the new ones, they have the old ones, they have the GPU upgrades and everything. Check out the link in the description below. And if you'd like to have a direct referral to work with somebody to see if one of these might suit your needs, ring up a purchase and get you all set up there as well. Reach out to me and I can put you in touch with folks to help you out. Thanks so much for watching. Come on back for more madVR based home theater discussion and fun.